The rain poured down in sheets, turning the narrow country road into a slick, treacherous path. My car's headlights barely cut through the storm as I navigated the winding turns, the windshield wipers struggling to keep up. I was miles from the nearest town when I saw a figure standing in the middle of the road, drenched but unmoving. I slammed on the brakes, the car skidding to a halt mere inches from the figure. It was a woman, her clothes tattered and her hair matted to her face. She looked at me with wide, haunted eyes, and I felt a chill that had nothing to do with the rain. I rolled down the window just enough to call out, "Are you okay? Do you need help?" She nodded slowly, her movements jerky and unnatural. Against my better judgment, I unlocked the passenger door. She climbed in, bringing with her the smell of damp earth and decay. As she settled into the seat, I noticed her hands were icy cold, her skin pale and clammy. We drove in silence for a few miles, the only sound the relentless drumming of the rain. "Where are you headed?" I finally asked, trying to mask the unease in my voice. "Home," she whispered, her voice barely audible over the storm. "Just take me home." "Where is that?" I asked, glancing at her. She turned to face me, and for the first time, I saw her eyes clearly. They were empty, hollow, like the eyes of a doll. "Just keep driving," she said, her voice now a low, menacing growl. A shiver ran down my spine. I pressed harder on the accelerator, eager to get this journey over with. The road seemed to stretch on forever, the storm growing fiercer. After what felt like hours, she finally pointed to a dilapidated house at the end of a long, overgrown driveway. "Here," she said. "This is home." I pulled up to the house, the windows dark and the walls covered in ivy. As she got out of the car, she turned to me one last time. "Thank you," she said, and then she vanished into the night. I didn't wait to see what would happen next. I drove off, my heart racing. It wasn't until I reached the safety of the town that I dared to look back. The passenger seat was wet, muddy footprints trailing across the floor. But it was the old, faded photograph on the seat that sent a jolt of fear through me. It was of the woman standing in front of the same house dated over 100 years ago.